Good morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. For those of you who are watching my lives this morning, you will know exactly why I am wearing a hat. So welcome, welcome to the channel. Lovely to see you guys. And here we go. Good morning. So, give yourselves a round of applause. Here we are today. How are you? Good morning. Good morning, Desiree. Good morning to you. Lovely to see you. Sean. Sean is in a Zoom meeting. Oh, she's obviously doing something she shouldn't be doing. That's really unusual. Sean, what are we going to do with you? Desiree, lovely to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Indra, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you guys? Great to see you all. Now, I know because I've had quite a few people popping me emails in this morning and a few people have joined recently. I want to do a little bit of a... good morning, Brian. Good morning. Nice to see you. What I want to do is just do a little bit of a recap for the newbies, anyone who's here new, just to remind you that what I'm doing here is doing live training on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 10:45 a.m. And everything that we've done so far in the last couple of weeks is all recorded and is kept inside. Mandy's there. Look at that. Hey, and Mr. Applegate. Good morning, sir. How are you? Nice to see you. Morning, Melissa. Lovely to see you too. Good stuff. Mandy, nice to see you again. I got your email, Mandy. I'll write back to you a bit later. Good morning, Cameron. How nice to see you too. And Emily as well. Oh, the whole world is coming in. Morning. Wales is here. London is here. People from all over coming in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just to remind anyone, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and ring the bell, and then you'll get all the information that you need all the time. So just a bit of a recap. Everything that we have is all recorded. So if you haven't already done so and you want to recap what it is that we've been doing so far, the videos themselves are all left on YouTube. You can go and see them. It's under High Performance Habits for Actors. Free, I think it's called Free Acting Lessons. I'd love it if you would subscribe and do all that stuff and everything. That would be great. Arlene, good morning. Good morning from Dundalk. How is the weather up there? Is it sunny? It's not here. I don't know what it's like wherever you are, but it's a little chillier today down here. So just to remind, everything is there. It's all there. You can go and recap. Those of you who were here for the BTS, when we did the Breakthrough to Success, just a reminder, if any of you still want a copy of that, all you got to do is send me in a little video testimonial, 1 minute, and you can get the 9 barriers that prevent actors from making the successes and changes in their lives that they want. And it covered, as you know, how to ask the great questions. So overlooked, this. I cannot tell you the number of times that people kind of like use the wrong question whenever they're going into an interview or something like that. They may say to themselves, you know, why do I always screw up my interviews? As Arlene said, yeah, that's Dundalk. Haha. So why do I always screw up my interviews? Why do I screw up my self-tapes? And the brain will give you that response. The reason you screw up your self-tapes is because you're no good at self-taping. Check it out. These are the skills. That in and of itself will put you in the wrong state of mind for your interview, for your audition, for your meeting with your agent, whatever you want to do. Begin to ask those positive questions. Good morning, Siobhan. If you want to recap, anyone who wants to, all you got to do is send me in a little 1 minute, 3 minute video testimonial. You get the complete training. It's a 9-hour training of the 9 barriers that prevent success for actors. So, and just a reminder, if anyone who hasn't had one, please come and take avail of the masterclass. There's the free calls. I'm still running those. I don't know how long we'll go on with those, but they are certainly interesting, and I'm finding them very useful. And I hope you guys are too. So if you haven't had one, do excuse me, come along and check one of those out. Indra, you keep saying you're coming, but you haven't come yet, Indra. I'm just checking. Also, to remind you, there's a masterclass coming up soon, and to register your interest, you can do that below here if you're interested in that. So, what I want to do is just recap now what it is that we've been doing in this particular training. And what we've done so far is we've utilized, do I still have that? Yeah. This here, we've utilized what we call the NLP communication model, which is just literally the way that your brain works. And in a really sort of like a catch up for those who are new to joining me today, essentially what happens is that information comes in from the outside world into our brains through the five senses, through sight, sound, touch, smell, and taste. That's the external input. It comes into the brain, and then the brain processes that piece of information. Say, for example, you hear you've got a self-tape, right? So it comes in through the senses. You might hear that you've got a self-tape. You might see that you've got a self-tape. You might, I don't know how you smell a self-tape, but maybe that's your instinct. I taste a self-tape. Oh, I tasted this lovely self-tape this morning. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. It's mainly the predominant ones, obviously, of course, are sight, sound, and touch. But that's the way it comes in. Maybe it's an email. It could be a phone call. So it comes in through the hearing, through the sound from your agent saying, you've got a self-tape. It goes into the brain. The brain then deletes, distorts, or generalizes whatever's going on. Now, it might distort that. You might get the wrong date in your head. You might hear that it's for other people, not for you, depending on where you are. That could be the distortion. The generalization, what we do with generalization is we generalize a pattern. So what we're trying to do here is to create new patterns of behavior that you can then generalize those throughout your experience. This is so, so important. It then passes through, the information passes through your filters inside here, your attitudes, your values, and your beliefs. And we're going to be talking more about values a bit later on in the week, because I want to do some more of that. We were talking about goals last week and how to, make goals work. Well, I want to do a bit more in-depth stuff about that, because when you can get down deep into what drives you, what motivates you, what makes you really come alive, then once we bring up what I call your mission, why you're here on this planet, why you are an actor, why you've chosen this profession. When you know your purpose underneath that, so much stuff just falls away. I've shared my purpose, one of my purposes, well, I have multiple, but my main purpose really for actors is ending what I call needless suffering, because it doesn't have to happen. It just doesn't. And that's what I want to do for actors. That's my purpose. So you will talk about that a bit later. Then this information about the self-tape goes through your map, your internal representation, and maybe you think, oh, I don't like doing self-tapes. I hate self-tapes. That could be the way you internally represent it. That can cause a state response, which is your emotional state of panic, fear, worry. That goes into the body. And then what happens, of course, is it comes out as a behavior or an action in terms of what it is that you do with your self-tape. And if you're feeling stressed and anxious, that stress and anxiety is going to translate in your performance, whether you're meeting your agent, doing a self-tape, whatever you're doing. So you can begin to see that it's really important to handle what it is that you do and your responses that you want to do for whatever. Andrew, don't worry, there's no problem. It's only a choice for you if you want to at any time. There's no need to apologize at all. None at all. So that's where we're at. Coffee break. I hope that gives you some kind of an idea. So that's what we're trying to do, is to change the way that we receive information and that we output different results. So all the belief change work that we've been doing, getting rid of those old beliefs about, not being good enough, being, lacking confidence, all of that, everything like that. That's what we want to change. When you change those beliefs, you change your behavior at the unconscious level. When you change at the unconscious level, what happens is you generalize positive results. It's one of the reasons that my career has been as good as it has, is because I generate this stuff. I make this happen. And that's what I'm hoping to impart to you, so that you start to think, yeah, I can do this too. This isn't about me telling you what to do, right? This is about me helping you to discover how you can use your brain, because it works. It's just the way the brain is made. It does all these things. So, just a quick recap. One of the things we did was we did the little the little getting into state, which we might do again now, actually, of focusing the brain before you do something. For those of you who are new, it's a nice thing to do. In fact, we will do that. We talked about the senses, how you get into the senses. We talked about the learning state, and you can imagine the picture now, that image that you had of your learning state when you were the child, looking up at all the grown-ups around, and that amazement and curiosity that you have running through your veins when you start to recognize all the talent that you have going inside of you naturally. Yeah? Everyone got that image? It's still there? Isn't that interesting? How it's still there in your mind. Because we placed it there, right? That's what's happening. So now you've got this kind of fervor to learn more. You want to learn new things. You want to do more things. You want to connect more. Yeah? Then we talked about, how we create a goal, and we used the well-formed goal conditions. And this is those, again, for those of you who haven't, this is all, if you're a member of the Action Club, this is all in the Action Club. It's all in Total Edition Magician. So if you haven't got it, do jump on there. This is how you create goals. It's how your brain works. And what we're going to do, as you can see here, is when you talk about see, hear, and feel, it means you're utilizing your senses. So when we go back to those, the goal here, when the senses are being articulated, when they're being inspired by your brain, inspired by your learning state, inspired and set on fire by your visualization and what it is that you're doing, then you start to make that more of your internal map. Your state changes, you become more confident about what you're doing, your physiology changes, your body goes, yeah, come on, let's do this. Great, what am I doing? I'm going on stage, fantastic. What am I doing? I'm going into the audition room, yes, this is what I want to do. It changes your behaviors, go in there, changes your results. Be, do, have. When you get into the right state and be the leader that you can be, you do more things, you have better results. Does that all make sense? Everybody, let me know. Does that make sense, what I'm talking about? Are you following along with me now? Let me know in the comments. Are you following along? Is it making sense? Yeah? Because I want you to get this on an intellectual level as well as the unconscious level. Because your conscious mind is very good at sort of like understanding the top part of it, but your unconscious knows everything about you. Your unconscious learns everything. Did you know that your unconscious remembers every single thing that's ever happened to you? Did you know that? Every single thing. What this means is every single thing that's ever happened to you, good or bad, is in there. It makes sense, says Sean. Great. And Katie goes, yay, Katie Sheridan. Yay, shout out for Katie. And guess, Siobhan, not yet. Okay. Siobhan, ask me questions. What is it that you're not understanding? Maybe we'll go over that in the if you want to come on for the free call that you talk about. That can be something we can talk about there. We can do all of that. Yeah? Melissa goes, yes, great. Great. This is good. This is really, really good. Fantastic, guys. I'm glad that it's starting to, make changes. Honey, hello. Welcome from South Africa. How you doing? Lovely to see you. Honey, I'm just going over everything, recapping where we've been traveling and how we're doing that. That's all I'm kind of doing at the moment. And so far we talked about how you create the goals and the well-formed goal condition. It's really important to stimulate your brain so that there is a kind of a connection that you get. The more you can you can inspire your sight, your sound and your vision, what you can see, what you can hear, what you can feel, the more your brain goes, oh, I see, this is something I'm attracted to. I want to move towards this. Right? So that's what we're doing. We're creating the best conditions so that your goals are more liable to be created. They're going to happen, guys. This is what happens. You just keep doing this stuff. It works. This is what the power of visualization actually is. That when people in The Secret talk about manifestation, this is what they're talking about. When you're visualizing what's going on and you have your whole brain working in this particular way, in as we were talking about, the IMAX cinema of your brain, when we build that up and you have these extraordinary pictures, just firing off at the unconscious level now, when you have those coming towards you, that pulls you forward in a state of excitement and anticipation. So you expect success and your brain starts to create that and generalize that. Yeah? Hope that makes sense. We also talked about how you traveling along the pathway of the goal. So we're putting the goal out into the future. We talked about your timeline so that you know exactly where the goal is in your brain, so your brain knows what's happening. And oh my goodness, the wind has just blown up outside. The tree outside my house has just gone completely nuts. It's whoa! It's quite extraordinary. Very exciting. So the traveling on the pathway that we did last week was you follow along by the side of your goal and you go to the end result. You see exactly what it's like in there so that you, in the present, of course, you travel to the future and then you bring yourself back. As you do that, you notice all the steps along the way, how that works out. So you're conditioning your brain to expect success. When success is something you expect, when there's a level of expectancy about everything that you do, then you start to generalize that. And that's what we're looking for. We also talked about the new behavior generator, how we did with procrastination and how that all worked out. I hope that went okay for you guys. And I hope you enjoyed that. So before we go on, I'm going to come to this, how we utilize a hero. That's really exciting. And I'll talk about that in a sec. How did it go? Those of you who tried the Sam Mendes moonwalk, how did that go? Anyone brave enough or willing enough to let me know? Did they actually do it? Did you do it? Did you actually do it? Cameron, I'll come on to that. Will you ask me that a bit later on? Yes, I do. Of course. There's loads of tips about that. Loads of tips. So did anyone have a go at the Sam Mendes moonwalk? You all said you were going to do it. Brian, you said you were going to do it. Honey, you said you were going to do it. Did you do it? Did you do it? Did you do it? Arlene said, no, I'm not doing it. Oh, no way, I'm not doing that. Andrea, I think you might have said, maybe. Melissa said you were going to do it. How did it go, guys? How did it go? Did anyone have a chance? Anyone have a go? Siobhan did no. She says, no, she didn't do it. Right. Honey, you did. Good for you. What was it like? How did it go? How did it go? And what did you do? For those of you who don't know what this was, the Sam Mendes moonwalk is an exercise I created after I had a meeting with a friend of mine, Anthony Daniels, who is the who is the golden robot in Star Wars. And obviously he's an actor as well, not just a robot. And we were having dinner once, and I was asking him. I said, "What's the one thing you would do to, if you could go back over your career? What would be the one thing you would do?" He said, "I would go up more often to people. I would introduce myself and say hello to people. I would, if I saw a casting director somewhere, I would go up and say, yes, hello, how are you?" Arlene says, "No, absolutely not." Melissa said, "I've not left the house this weekend." 2 self-tapes. Actually, you did, didn't you? Of course. Goal for next week. Excited. Good for you. Grand. Excellent. Brian says, "Oh, yes, they looked at me like I was crazy, but you did it." So, Honey and Brian, as you actually did it, what was the result? First of all, tell us, what did you do? And then what happened? It didn't hurt. Exactly. It doesn't hurt. The worst thing that can happen is someone will look at you like you're a bit crazy. For those of you who don't know what it is, the idea is to change the way your brain perceives new events. If you go into, let's say, for example, you're at a networking event. I did say I'll do it. I'm building up to it. I will do it in the future. Not I am going to do it now. Big difference in the brain. Very interesting. And the idea is, what it does is it conditions your brain to do something unusual. And when you go into somewhere like a shop that sells flowers and you ask for a pound of sausages, right? Which I know this sounds crazy, but what happens is your brain builds up an anticipation and then you pop through it. So Brian felt excited and in control. Absolutely. And how did you feel afterwards? I mean, I know, obviously, you do. What was it that you did? What did you ask for and where? And what did you do, honey? What was yours? Yeah, and it doesn't hurt. You're absolutely right. It doesn't hurt. Nothing happens. Nothing falls apart at all. The world is still there. All that happens is you go through an experience, and that experience is kind of counterintuitive. Oh, I'm going in to do something I don't want to do. Oh, I've done it. I survived it. Okay? And that, at that level, it teaches your brain new skills, literally by going through it. If you haven't done it, do try it. You'll be amazed at the differences that it makes. And the more you do it, when you do it a couple of times, is it doing something? Absolutely. It is doing something out of your comfort zone. Of course it is, absolutely. And if your comfort zone is something that holds you back, and we all feel that, we all have limits. Listen, I have limits. Now, here we go. Right, went to my coffee shop and asked if they had if they sold petrol. They thought you were bonkers. You went into a supermarket to buy a canary. Okay, and describe to me, absolutely, yeah. But were actually very helpful and described the way to the petrol station. We laughed and that was it. Yeah, a great feeling. But you taught your brain something new. Because was there a little bit of anxiety before you went in? I bet there was. But tell me, was there? Oh, a canary. That's great. That's normal for me. Eamon is sitting at home surrounded by thousands and thousands of canaries. Eamon is the bird man of Stillorgan. Right? But I hope you're understanding that. I know it sounds silly, it sounds frivolous, it sounds stupid, it sounds daft. I know it does. It did to me when I first heard it. But the physical experience of physically doing it, and I would really suggest honey had a little bit of anxiety, yeah. And did you, Brian, as well? So if you do that, you pop through this kind of resistance inside your brain, right? Oh, you go there every day. Oh my God. No. The idea is not to go to somewhere that you know, so that they may even... I think you might have misunderstood the instructions there, honey. The idea is to go Brian's heart was pumping, mild sweat in the hands. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But then you survive it, you see. So you go into somewhere like that, and that's it. I would advise you not to go to somewhere where they know you really intimately. Go a little bit further away from home, just so that you don't cause any kind of major hassles for yourself. Okay? So that's the idea. So keep doing it, though. It really is important. If you can do it, it will shift the way that you see things. And you'll notice that the next time you can picture in your mind going up to a casting director, you'll go, yeah, it's easy. Hello. Hi, I'm Nick. What's your name? That's what you'll get. Would that be easy? You don't fancy it? You'll sometimes have to do... Of course you do. You have to do outside of your comfort zone. It's going to happen all the time. This is training your brain to be more expansive, to use your power, to step out of your comfort zone. When you step out of the comfort zone, you step into somewhere different. And when you go into that new land, you learn that you survive. And you grow as a result. So please, give it another go. Right, today what we're going to be doing is this wonderful thing now called utilizing a hero or a heroine. So this might be something that I think you'll find very useful. So actually what we're going to do, we'll just start by, for those of you who haven't done it, what we're going to do is just start with 3 breaths, and we'll go into the focusing position as well. Not position, but we'll go into the focus thing. This is a really good way to get yourself into a state of ease and relaxation and alertness before you go into anything. It would absolutely work for intimate scenes, anything. You're training your brain to allow yourself to be more creative, to be more expressive. That's what you're doing. So definitely, Brian, absolutely. If there's any fear, the biggest thing I could ever suggest to anyone, if there's something you have a sort of fear about, the more you do it, literally put yourself in that position, the easier and easier and easier it becomes. All right? That's just the way it works. So try and pick up on that if you can, and think of ways that you can use it. Okay, so let's just start with 3 breaths. We're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth to the sound ha. That's all we're going to do. Make sure you're not driving a car while you're doing this. And feel your body relaxing more and more. Relaxing more and more. One more time. Excuse me. Okay. Now what you can do now, we're going to focus and use how you can focus. This is a great way of getting focused before you do any self-tape. Melissa. Or anyone else who needs to do anything like this. If you've got a self-tape or anything coming up, you want to focus, this will help you. Just do those 3 breaths. It's the best way. I do this before every self-tape. I do it before every take. And now just allow yourself to close your eyes and go inside and become aware of your senses. Lose your mind and come to your senses. And first of all, become aware of what you can hear. All the sounds, the prevalent sounds out there around. Maybe you can hear trees, traffic, central heating, whatever it is you can hear. Fridges buzzing. Become of the less prevalent sounds, the subtle sounds as well. And now become aware of your feelings, your sense of touch, wherever you're sitting. Maybe you feel your bum in the chair. You can feel your shoes, your feet in your shoes, in socks, whatever it is you're doing. You can feel your hands on your knee, wherever they are. And become aware of the subtle feelings as well. And now become aware of your sight, what you can see. Even though your eyes are closed, you can still see something. What are you seeing? Become aware of the prevalent sights. Maybe you'll see some shapes moving outside, or a little bit of something moving backwards and forwards. And then the subtle sights. Maybe there's a little glimmer here, or a glint of light or something, whatever you see. And now become aware of your sense of taste. Maybe you've had your breakfast, you've got a cup of coffee or whatever you can still taste, or water, or maybe just liquid in your mouth of some kind, some saliva, something. Whatever you can taste. And then smells. Finally, the smells. And you can use that anytime. And very quickly, just recap it again. You can go over the sounds outside, touch, your sense of sight, taste, and smell. They're all overlapping now. Now, this is an exercise I've used many, many times. This is incredible. I've used this. This is how we utilize a favorite hero or heroine. I've used Al Pacino when I wanted to learn more relaxation. I've used Michael Gambon when I wanted to learn stage presence. I've used Ian McKellen when I wanted to develop more authority on stage. You can choose a man or a woman whom you greatly admire. It doesn't matter. Men can choose women, women can choose men. Doesn't matter. Whatever. Pick someone who excites and inspires you when you recall that person's accomplishments. So for me, Al Pacino's relaxation, his physical relaxation, also the way that he works as an actor. Ian McKellen, that sense of power and authority he has. But you choose someone you know personally, maybe. It might be someone you look up to. You can even choose from fiction or legend. You can choose Robin Hood, Maid Marian, Wonder Woman. You can use anything on anyone you choose, and let your feelings of inspiration guide you. This will soon be yours. These skills will soon be yours. Now choose a goal that your hero achieved through living their mission. Now maybe it's a physical goal, it could be a mental goal, whatever it is, choose something. Maybe it's, so let's say for me it was McKellen, say, playing Richard III. I remember his performance, and his performance as Iago. I remember those performances. They really stayed in my brain. I could see those, imagine it, and I could see everything that he was doing. But you choose the person that you choose, the hero or the heroine you most admire and you want to be like. Whenever you see this person, see a specific set of actions that represents the living of that person's mission, a goal, and choose that. And when you see this hero or heroine of yours doing this extraordinary thing, make a short 30-second movie of that goal. See the image close up in full, vibrant colors. Run the movie in your mind. Make it meaningful and inspiring. You can make this bigger and bigger and brighter and bolder. Make it something you really want. And now see the image again close up in full, vibrant colors. And run the movie again in your mind, meaningful and inspiring. And now run it back to the beginning and put it on pause. So you pause the movie. And this time you're going to step into the role. You are going to become your hero or heroine in this particular role, in this particular movie. Become aware of your values, purposes, principles, and your mission as your hero or heroine. Now release the pause button of your mental VCR and run the movie with you playing the role of the hero or the heroine. Complete this scene from the inside. Get in touch with the feelings you have while pursuing this set of actions. Got that? That's right. And now question yourself. Staying in your new role, ask yourself these questions. What are my motives? What are my motives? Why did I do this action to achieve the end result, the goal? How does this goal fit into this larger mission? How does pursuing this goal feel? And now become yourself again. Reflect on what resources becoming your hero or heroine brings out in you, achieving your goals within your mission. The main lesson of this exercise is to bring out your mission-based goals will feel like when you are pursuing them at a higher level. So you've stepped up to the next level in your mind's eye. This is a wonderful exercise to do as well if you want to continue to develop these new skills. You might find yourself choosing to read a biography of the person that you chose and learn more about that person and learn how they can inspire you at the unconscious level. And as you begin to notice that there are several people inside your mind at any one time, the people from your past and your present who have ever inspired you, you can look forward out into the future and see a table. And around this table are all your heroes sitting around there. They may be living, they may be dead. They may be there with you now. And each one of them will have words of wisdom to offer to your unconscious. And you can go around the table and choose to ask each one for guidance for your particular goal. Choose the person who you know will give you the most extraordinary advice first. And utilize that. Notice those words of wisdom and suggestions and ideas and images and pictures are swirling around at your unconscious level. And as you go around the table, you can utilize all of your stars that sit around you as they connect with you at the unconscious level and give you new ideas, new ways of connecting and inspiring and building and imagining your future, going further and further out into the future as you begin to dive deeper now into your unconscious. Because your unconscious knows the size of this table and can begin to notice that you can add more and more people to the table whenever you choose. These can be great essayists, poets, magicians, artists, actors, musicians, musical people, whoever you need, whatever you need, from wherever you need. You can bring these resources into your new ideology inside your mind and body system. And now as you begin to make a huge image, a massive IMAX image of yourself sitting around the table with all your inspiring guests, each one of whom can give you advice, strategies, ideas, tips, hints, whatever you wish to help you and bring you further forward on your mission now that you want to achieve at a greater level. You can see this huge image, this IMAX movie image in the center of your mind, and it's a big, bright, bold image with all your guests around you. And as you see them there whispering to you and encouraging you, and you can feel that sense of connection at the unconscious level, you can bring this image, literally bring this image closer and closer, bringing your hands up and pull this image into your heart center. And as you bring this image into your heart center, you can feel this going into your mind and body system at your unconscious level. And you may even feel that tingling going on. You know at the unconscious level that this has now been installed at the unconscious level so that you can utilize this image whenever you choose. And you can use this to do whatever you wish, whenever you wish to, and choose to do new things out into the world. And as you begin to see yourself there now, with new skills coming, with all the support behind you and inside you whenever you move into your next, when we come out of COVID, moving into the new world, as I heard described the other day, the new world order. The new world order. When we see the new world coming, this is where you can come from, this new level of understanding. And when you bring on board all these new skills at the unconscious level and allow yourself to sleep and dream and maybe write and get inspired and paint and draw and whatever you want to do to utilize the skills that you know you have, you can see great things coming your way. And now you can allow yourself to come back into the room easily and effortlessly, coming back into the room more and more whenever you choose to come back now. Welcome back. Good morning. Let's ring the bell. Time to wake up. Good morning, everyone. How are you? Welcome back into the room. How was that? Did you enjoy that? I did. Did you? How was it? How was that? Let me know. How did it go? Nobody. Also, you can have a bit of a stretch if you need to. I know you went off a little bit spaced out there. Kind of cool though, huh? Can you imagine dreaming like that at night? Because you can now. You have the skill to do that now. If you wish to, you could take this whenever you want. Absolutely amazing. Ah, you betcha. You betcha. Remember, guys, you can revisit this video anytime you choose. Emily liked it too. This is cool, right? This is going to harness your unconscious mind. Nearly fell off the chair. I was so relaxed. Oh, that's good. But did you do the work? Did you see it as well? Did you imagine? You see, if you take these images to go to sleep at night, imagine going to sleep every night running that in your brain. Thank you, honey. Yeah, absolutely. You see, that's one of the things I do whenever I want to do it. I do it every time. Oh, my watch has just gone off. My Apple Watch is just telling me I'm playing lacrosse. Who knew? That's so weird. Stop playing lacrosse. I'm not lacrossing. Katie enjoyed it too. Wonderful. Wonderful. Excellent. 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 Really glad. That is something you can sleep and dream on anytime you choose. And imagine that you have all these resources because you're unconscious. There you go. Loved it. Great advice from Benedict Cumberbatch. Fantastic. Fantastic. Brian literally had a conversation with Mrs. Streep. Brilliant. Indra liked it. Great. No words of scripture, you're just feeling physical sensations. Love it. Gold for the mind and body. It is. Absolutely. Very much amazing. I learned don't try to be better than everyone. I'll try to be your very, very best. Exactly. You see, these are the things that you can learn. You have one of the big principles of NLP, and something I have found to be absolutely true, is that we have all these resources within us, already here, inside you, right here, right now. We can use our imagination in new ways. We are actors. This is what we can do. Judi Dench was obviously very busy today. She was having a word with Andrea, gave her an amazing tips, and Siobhan as well. Who knew? Peace and empowerment. Wonderful. You see, when you feel this stuff, when you can feel that sense of peace and empowerment, when you can feel that sense of connection with, your inner resources, your inner table of advisors, spiritual advisors, you can bring in financial advisors, you can bring in, actors, you can bring in painters, you can bring in Picasso, Van Gogh, you can bring in anybody you wish into your mind. Why not? What would Picasso say to you about the way you could approach your next self-tape? Maybe you would get the most extraordinary idea. All you need is one little tweak, and it can be the thing that makes the difference between success and amazing success. This advice is so powerful because you don't get it anywhere else. You don't get it anywhere else. So anyone fancy doing that? Just allowing your brain every now and again to dream in this new way. Yeah? You see, once you start to do this on a regular basis, this is going back to what we were talking about earlier here, right? Imagine doing this on a regular basis. If you do this every time you go to sleep at night, you will start to condition your brain to think, feel, and act. Melissa used her dad and Viola Davis and Edward Norton. Oh, Edward Norton says hi. Absolutely. Oh, I met Edward Norton. Well, I met him in LA, actually. He was very nice. But Viola Davis is in there too, you see. You can use whoever you choose. You can bring them into your environment, into your internal world. And one of the things we're actors. This is what we do. We use this all the time. Okay, so when you bring in and start dreaming in this way, and you start utilizing and actively creating this kind of, mental imagery, this sort of bringing your inner resources online, when you bring your senses into play like this, you can generalize this. Imagine generalizing this as an experience. Imagine living with that in your conscious mind. Kate Blanchett is going to help you with a self-tape. Excellent. That's great. Absolutely great. You'll be amazed the difference this makes. George Irving was impressed because I told him I would act until after. Oh, well, very good. George, I know George. So this is what you can do, right? You can generalize this kind of experience. It will change your attitudes. Do you think it will change your attitudes? Absolutely. Do you think it will change your decisions? Absolutely. Do you think it will give you new memories? Absolutely. This will change your map, your internal representation of the world, which will give you that sense of power and empowerment, the peace, the confidence, the engagement, the connection, which will affect your physiology and change your behaviors. And so what will happen is you go into the audition, the self-tape, and you will bring those resourceful powers with you because they are yours. Okay? So that's where we are. By the way, I'm thinking... I'm beginning to think that group coaching might be a good thing for me to do. Is anyone interested in the idea of that? Because I'm finding that this kind of format works really well, and I might do it on Zoom. I'm going to continue with this. Don't worry, I'm going to do the free stuff, no problem. But I think I might take this to the next level. What would you think? Anyone interested in that? The idea of doing a group sort of session like this? I could do like a 12-session thing, I was thinking. Because I've got my sort of 3 sessions, my 3 principles of what it is that I'm working on. When you get your mindset right, and you can begin to see now how powerful this stuff is. I could do 4 sessions on mindset, 4 sessions on performance, and then 4 sessions on visibility, getting out into the world so that people can, see you more. Would anyone be interested in that? I think what it might be, it was because one-on-one sessions with me, I know they can be prohibitive. I know they can, but I thought I could do 12 sessions for about €29, €29 a session. What do you think? Group of 10 people. Sound interesting? Let me know. If you pop onto my website, you'll see there's a thing on there, and it should be underneath here now or underneath one of the other videos about group coaching. If you're interested in the idea of that, it might be a way to. Because I know, sometimes we need to... Look, the best coaching I do is one-on-one. That's just the way it is. But group coaching is also something where I can do this kind of thing that would help, be more specific. I'm doing this is very generalized kind of thing, okay? So it'd be about $29 a session. I don't know, what does that work out at? I can't imagine. But they say 12 sessions. I could do 1 a week for 12 weeks. Something like that. I think I'd need a group of 10 people for that to work. So let's put that out there. So if anyone's interested, let me know and we can talk about that. So any questions? Here we go. Arlene says, you can use it for character you're going to play. Absolutely. You stepped into Francis McDormand because it really fitted with the couch I'm doing for the tape today, and it felt amazing. Do it. This is exactly what I'm talking about. When I said to you that I've used, Al Pacino, and I've used Gambon, and I used Ian McKellen, absolutely perfect. We'll make an audio tape to play it now. Absolutely. Make an audio. You could what you can do, Mr. Applegate, is this very simple, right? All you got to do is when this video is live on YouTube and you find it, take YouTube, take it off the YouTube, and make sure you take out the audio. Just strip the audio from it. If you know how to do that, do that. I might even do it as well and put it into TAM or into TAC. I'll put it in there. So this is going to be that particular thing. In fact, I will do that. Would you like that inside the Action Club? All you guys in there? Yes? I'll put it in the Action Club. Okay. And I didn't even wait for a yes there. I'm just going to do it, okay? So that'll be good. That's the kind of thing. So any other questions? But definitely, you can definitely use it. Absolute Francis McDormand, one of your faves. When you do this, when you step into the body of someone who's got something you haven't got. I've used Colin Farrell. When we were doing Alexander. You step in. Just a sense of feeling how Colin feels when he's in front of a movie, when he's got a camera on him. He's kind of like extraordinary. But you can borrow that, right? You can borrow that. Yeah? You can borrow anything you want. And the good news is no one knows you're doing it. And no one gets hurt. So pretty cool, right? Get the idea? So use people like that. Absolutely. What's this? Your friend was convinced I was Simon Callow. I said, but this happened to you a lot. I have had it before. I have had Simon Callow before. And I'm kind of, Simon's great. Absolutely. I have had that one. I also get Ian McKellen, obviously, bizarrely. And I've had, David Bowie. And, okay, not really. But, I've had, Lou Reed. I've had Samuel L. Jackson. People think I'm everybody, It's weird. It's one of those things. You can never tell who he is. Okay, so guys, that's where we're at. Thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you Wednesday, and take care. See you very soon. Remember, any questions, drop me the line, and those of you who haven't, jump on board, register interest for the masterclass and for group coaching. And if you haven't had a free call, jump in. Clary's Michelle Gambon. Aha. Michelle Gambon. Aha. Oh, Michelle. Oh, I love Michelle. He's so marvelous. Oh, ho, ho. Yeah, but Michael, absolutely. I've used him many times. And I've also worked with him. And that's very strange when you realize that you've been the person you're working with. It's very extraordinary. Anyway, these things are really powerful, guys. Use your brain, use your imagination, use it the way you want, okay? Great to see you guys. Lovely, lovely, lovely. See you Wednesday. God bless. Take care. Bye now.